1 osofo Daniel Omarini enwumre awrade asomdwe enkamo nyina yakopon ya adom a ekina so yebeto aso ye chiatiefo nyina na yebre no eko bebre nti nyame adom ekina yebeto aso awrade hyiram
nti ya na wafre number no na sofo no adi nko won so mo so mo frɛ mo pempa bɔnyini ano sofo bɛka mo ɛyɛ empire bɔ nyame nhyira wo na wanya wakase ma wo so free adom enko adom ye besia se yema justice k ato aso ɛde amaye nyakopon ɛyɛ adom a dafoforo ebesen ahyia biam
That letter was, if there's a letter written, it wasn't written to, that letter was, if there's a letter written, it wasn't written to the committee, it was written to the speaker. So we'll allow speaker to read it and then make sure that he does whatever he needs to do. My reaction is no reaction because the letter was not written to the committee. Look, as a politician, there are so many things people will write about you, they will say about you. So long as it has been sent to the appropriate quarters, let's allow the appropriate quarters to do what they need to do. And I will worry about public accounts. That letter
happened during this 9th Parliament, and we are actually working on it. You listened clearly to my directives. It was not only Parliament, but I called in the police to investigate the criminal aspect of it and submit a report. That report has not yet come. We've been following up on it. Even this morning we're discussing it. Yes. Then also there was to be evaluation of the items that were damaged, and then we'll get to know how much, so that when we are handling the report, together with that, I can make the necessary orders. The committee has submitted a report and with recommendations, which we have, but we are waiting on all this, so that when I'm giving my directives, then you can make a complete statement and bring an end to this whole saga. So that is really being worked on. It's not shelved at all. In fact, when I took over after what happened on the floor and I was sworn in and I moved to my office, I was expecting to meet Professor Michael Kwe for us to have a chat, and I didn't meet him there. So I asked, where's Prof? And then one said, he was told that he's gone, he drove home. I said, what do you mean by that? You mean he drove himself? He said, no, some driver drove him home. Why? Why won't he wait for us to have a chat and discuss how to transit? And that was all. And so I really suffered a lot in silence. And because I wasn't also in government, almost all my, courtesies and others were taken away. I didn't get them at all for the 4 years that I was Speaker in the 8th Parliament. Ambassadors were afraid to meet me at the airport. They were even afraid to extend vehicles to me when I was doing official work outside. And I read some of the things they told you that I did outside, which were not true at all. We are bringing a new bill to also look at the parliamentary transition. We passed a law, and that is one of the reasons I said what I said earlier on, that we're passing laws for the executive, forgetting about Parliament. So we passed a Presidential Transition Act, but there is no law governing the transition of Parliament. And you all saw what happened on the 7th of January 2021, because that was a peculiar situation.
That in 2015, the then Minister of Finance, the Honorable Setekwe, lamented about the reduction of cocoa production, which was also attributed to Galamsey. Mr. Speaker, today, the power is in the hands of government. The power is in the hands of the NDC government. Not long ago, they refused our invitation to join us to Georgia. They said that the blame was to be laid at the doorstep of government, the executive, the NPP, the SWA NPP government. They said the blame was to be laid at our doorstep. Mr. Speaker, today, we do not want to go the same way. We would want to show good faith. Mr. Speaker, we will accept the invitation. But then the charge must be led by the government. They are the custodian of the power, the people. Mr. Speaker, this side is ready to help in any manner or form to fight Galamsey, but they must show leadership. The president must set the example. The president must lead the charge so that all of us as a country can also join in bringing an end to the Galamsey menace. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I thank the maker of the state.
The majority leader is clearly acting in bad faith, seeking to obstruct the rather peaceful processes we have started, and as it were, try to use his numbers to intimidate. Let me ask, the rule he relied on has to do with debate on the floor of the House. There are dark clouds indeed in this country where freedom of speech by mere operation of a supermajority, you cannot even as a member of parliament make your comment. I am not moving a motion. I am not debating. Please, Chairman, the rule he relied upon. Is it this situation where people move from here and there to create confusion and create their own jurisprudence must come to an end with respect. Interruption of debate. That is, if you go to page 70 or the 122, the title there, the subtitle, interruption of debate. Debate may be interrupted by a point of order. And then he says that I am debating. Who is debating here? Mr. Chairman, if the majority leader has anything to say in opposition,
Joe eba Kessben television so ene ye banada November ye bosumidu ba kono ne da ye toso edu eba kon ene afimpi miru ne eduonu enum yata sei na adwenkyere dwumadie ene de bro free sabre kopem se ebebo nondu bede ne Kofi Appiah Kessben television e wo multi TV decoder ne so ye wo DSTV channel 364 Go TV channel 121 wo Facebook so a obo Kessben FM ana Kessben TV a obetime stream live na be bia wo bia so no woni edi enkomo. It's going to be an eventful week na otwimo ensem akasie pi na ebisisie na chance mpro a esie free enra na parliament rasebya for transie se openia mampenia boni se omeyemutimu afopani pa chief justice Paul Bafo Boni ombra na rasebya for appointment committee nya kwan na omuno no na ebra omo bekro na no fiada no na ekuketo minority MPP Rashid Afonso say there be kabaya omo hwen kakra fi say Chief Justice dada no a ye na si nchen Justice Araba Tokuno wona sama koda court say kwaye fa so ji ne konya fi nsemo no wonte ase the court nka bi ma no ti ko omo hwen ma court nka asem nwie na ye rababo ne we acting Chief Justice wo hwe akire dada no nto aso ahwe akire kopim say maame ne be kana asem awie or ko parliament fiada no e ma anyeye parliament botugui enura omoba vetting committee animo no na enya agro kra be do hre ba konefa na jasbafo boni tiwo na minority kweketwa no alefanyu makin ne nkrofo ene majority ma yarga omomienu we sisei mempre ma onye sei afedu ba bia na pani ote adwamu nyamfo Bernard Ahiafo first deputy speaker of parliament ka say kutu ejina ba ye sorry onkoba ye nzo omakwa ba de asumwie adwobre on betra ase bi wa na still asem no se omokoye na mfu a ho na afenyu market be ka say ma ye kwan na ye nkan asem se vet ne ye ma ka ye minority MPP fo nka ya ma ya ba betra ne kire say asem no ehia yen eno nso nti ya ba ye be ye vet ne be busa ne nsem ne mo sa omakwan ma ye nkan asem dia ene vet no yentimi enka ho me enye be sori akọ nemu e ka kire mo sa sam no ba mra sebadwo mu dia ene yen MPP mra sebadwo afo nyina ye beto aba e de tia se yempre e ma bafo boni o ma meye o ma mutimu afo pani pa fi se e kwane e fa so obenya adwa no niema bibire ho a ankoyi ti o mo sori koi e na ekukese majority fo no NDC mra sebadwo afo nko a mo transe na ubusa na nsemo a kopem se wie nsemo kan ne de do so bebre ubusa say 2012 ye to about election petition the back Supreme Court no we obi a o ka timu afo ni pannum a na o mota mampani Mahamachi no eno ntini this Chief Justice Akonyama no so da bi me no Rollins e na ye metimu afo e na Tamils e de call High Court o mampani na akofo de me call Court of Appeal no aside me call Supreme Court ti ene se John Mahama ba no se me Chief Justice na say I cut across the two political divide MPP ni NDC afemu nyina no baby ya me ho de madwuma na so ani ne mpo ye Supreme Court atemu afo no a me call Supreme Court afempim no ene nwotwe 2008 omo maka ni nyina de oba me cry 2015 ti manyini macha ho che omu nyina iti adwuma no me ni obi a me safata se metimi aye o kan sempi fa ho se ogidi yesa ba ye to no Ghana ha no se betumi a ka ye ntwe fambra November bosumedu ba akonum if say to aba December bosumedu de to sonson ne ebobo no de to so du na obi ntene ho ase a oso obekọ court a wonye ho krata nwekura ne de mampani no a ese wadi nkunim na traso ne mo ye tweba November bosumedu ba akone ya ene obi antene ho ase na de bekọ court a ibetimi du bosumedu ba akono ene bosumedu mienu no na otwe mienu aye ho ntoto nyina na ye bua asem no ansa na December bosom na kwawiye die no January opepon bosom de to sonson a de ato obayi no ye be hyem kanase wadi nkunim na nka ya tete abaton nchinyuaso no nyina we die proposal de ama mrashabadwafo we die mo na obetima ye mra no se December abato no yinyimra November yinyifri bosom du mienu no mu ye fa mra bosom du baako no be ntene ho ase etima ka asem na wi se de Ghana ha nyina se abato ho nchinyuaso 2013 de 2021 de no ye di asem Supreme Court no na de ya to bayi no ya swear in wa sha se na dwuma dada ti ko di wie na yakoka se bia wa ani nkunimu a ne ya sa akutu no ana eno ya asem ba ko osaka bibi fa kwan atemu afo bu asem se bia wote wakura asa na wote nkran na ate se ekurase magistrate na district court bi abua obi a akotwa obi boode efo so nkoda si afiase mfie num fie du a woto as boode keke ya akotwa aye no ene ya ma no mfie num ana mfie du ase hwe me maami ote kurase no se wutwa no boode a ene se de ye atikuru ma no waje ne ka enti ya mana sotwe atemuafo nimra de ye adwuma na ose me bra na me ya brante mo high court no atayi e be gina manim so e amroba no me ma no mfie aduoson ni nyina ne se atayi na misem ko ma no mfie aduasa okoba me ni mabusuafo da baba ye so kane ti ma no mfie aduoson ko da mfie aduoson de atayi mra no na me ko we rim ne sim bia Chief Justice nominee Justice Bafo Boni okaye e wo vetting committee anim enra bra no ntie nya bre say ebebo we nyina de akyerɛ ne events a esi na wotwe mu enne so ɛna helicopter ye ekote adanse akrofom August na abosumi no mu no hwemu ya penifo enim de helicopter na edu pra kwantuo mu ye de hye wo sanodo anu nsem ebre o mampani nra ne nenom kwenkan emu nsem a omokyire mu se helicopter na ekote hweye no ewiem ɛna na enye wiem nsakyerɛ a ema wiem ye hwani no ɛna ɔhyenkani na ntimi afa helicopter na ankwankosie na helicopter no de na emfunsuo bia ne ho nemom ye wo other safety equipment bia se bia ko hyenkani na wiem no ɛna hu se mintimi nsi na saa ne ma ne ka ne ho a ko betimi e de ayadwuma aye brebra ko pebab de si ne musan se saa advanced safety equipment no na bi ni helicopter no mu no eno nti na ma helicopter no ekote hweye nti so bi ka say ye nipa mfonso helicopter na enya no kore ne mo kan asem bi se helicopter bia na lupre bia no de waye no e kire obra wo se wo de ba na ye siesie na saa helicopter we no na be na so ye wo se ye de kuku siesie ena ekosre extension se ebra so se bi edi mfie nu mu amfamra ne ehwe helicopter nsa ha bia ni ho amutume ka so mfie nu na so mu ka mama ye bia afia na abosumi nsia bi nka ho omso okay within abosumi nsia de ebitim de amamo na Ghana ba akosre se helicopter yi ne bra so wo se ye de ko omo ye no hwe krokra bibibo ne bi e tochma ho ma ne akosre extension so bo fa na kakra nka ho ansa ne de helicopter na ba within that period and helicopter no ekote hwe safety standards say Ghana Armed Forces helicopter this is not the first time helicopter akwati ahwe na we ndie ya ne nipa timu ebi ate ahwe pen a eno no ya hwere okra bia we die nipa nwotwe ebo mu ewie sa hwan fonso ekwa ba ne fa so ade asie yi ye bebo ho ba na se bebo ye ho ba se bibi nsi bi mu kai se na nsen o mampani edu product kwan ye friend fa akon 900 no na ado abreso no no me helicopter no helicopter no mampani ntimi fa kokwa atenten timampani kwa breaka Canada ne Asia no a no ha edupre hu nsem ye deja parliament kujito black kwam ye said there be edupre na safe ade na mampani fantu kwan fast forward abai by March obene bosumi no na mka say there be edupre no ho attachment ye de co France abrofo no ye na omade abrayen. So the question is say edupre we ya mampani ditu kwan ye ma omaye na omde dada na ba na ye mampani na be ma ka for the etukwan ana se de asie nti no ade no ayedada ye hwe na ye ntofoforo ye nkotie captain retired fofo penifo a omode asemi tu dwa ne e kire helicopter nkwanhia yi ne fireby ene de torch ma e ma asemsie nti omo era.
The dotted blue line now, the dotted blue line is what the plan track had been. The purple line is what the aircraft actually flew. And that took place because it was avoiding clouds and so on and ended up where it was. Now to our findings. The helicopter was airworthy, but it lacked additional safety enhancements. For instance, the terrain awareness warning system. Now, you know, the terrain awareness warning system, for instance, is predictive. So what it does is it tells you, warns you, it gives you a better picture of the situation and puts the pilots in a better, it gives them, puts them in a position to make better judgments, to be able to see everything and be able to foretell if there are any things that could possibly create a problem. But they lack the additional safety enhancements required for the weather phenomenon over that terrain. There was adverse weather, there was limited visibility, there was rising rugged terrain, where this terrain induced complicating factors, and there were no ground-based navigational route aids en route. The investigation would like to say that from everything they gathered, the emergency response was very timely. The fact that the first responders managed to get to the site in about 2 hours was remarkable, because the terrain has very steep slopes. It was raining, it was slippery. So it wasn't the easiest thing to do. When we went to the site, it was also raining and it was very slippery. And we struggled using sticks and everything to try to get up there. So looking at everything, we would say very.
We a captain retired fofo ya wono ene di animu no chirchiri mu samba ko kan ne se eruprebu a wode na wiem na se weda na wiem sakran ne nya etimi bon kaye entem e ma ohunu de obeye sa helicopter na binim and I was can be say modern safety enhanced equipment yeah no be bo se do prebu ho a e wo to chimo wiem ko shanka ne ntimi manage a no apen nearby airport bi no akoye emergency landing sebe ya BBS we no na enisa equipment finally o se baby a oshenkani ni dure na ewiem no nye helicopter bia nkosoro pi ito shenkani ye se obetimi apagya helicopter no akowiem kakra na so bra na person lift no ko esoro no anye ye so onti se bia wiem no ho se de ebo watra rupremu da duru baby a wo se ebo no ewo fom pa ti se ko wiem kakra helicopter nkosoro pisa ti weather ne no person lift helicopter no ko wiem na so wentimi amfa nko wiem baby a na person de kro no ti de na aba ne se o se ekote enso to no so de okai.
The investigation determined that the accident was caused by the sudden loss of altitude and lift due to downdraft. This loss of altitude without change in power or pitch altitude is consistent with downdraft associated with changing environmental conditions over high terrain. In our findings also, we said there's limited national navigational capacity, a capability for en route and remote area weather services. We also looked at training and realized that the Air Force doesn't have much simulator training. We looked at flight monitoring and realized that there was no flight data monitoring also taking place. For flight following and tracking of aircrafts, we realized that it was also not there. There's no secondary surveillance radar, no automatic dependent surveillance broadcasts, or any other real-time tracking of aircraft. The investigation.
We humo yo my fire helicopter. What are the lessons? Adesua be na Ghana yesua ede efrimo. Edupre no dada ebe tra ho se yenye ne kakra na yentwema bibisi ana Falcon 900 Ghana ban edupre mampeni di oditu kwa yese chinwa ba ho bisi ekotofofro bisi edupre na ye yensa amfa mampeni nkomra nim se hwimu ya abeto dwai be mampeni fo memo omadwe ho bio ye ko speaker of parliament asoye se na me kan se enra pinche ba vetting bra no mbinu no chief justice no mini no and enra bambaben achamehene wa pa atimuafo aso judicial no chew say chief justice mo pa ba vetting na de no me on bapen be tra wa be wa na minority majority hey ti apa ho chew say de see no entwa ye yenti speaker of parliament rababen. All right, and also Edian Chenya. Yada saw Mrashabi Fio na majority leader Union for Mama Yarga. On also say minority leader, why may be parliament and Maraso to Umbrella Privileges Committee. In an say ECOWAS Parliament in the Ephraim. Na no mote ya ECOWAS Parliament Koshia na Odruho. And into a Becca who has some parliament speaker he na minority leader. On also farmer so you on also okay.
If you recall, we had removed the name of the minority leader, Honorable Adwenkyere Alexander Kwamina, member for Efutu, from the list of Ghana's delegation to the ECOWAS Community Parliament. Mr. Speaker, this resolution of this Parliament was communicated to the ECOWAS Parliament by, I believe, your good self. This Parliament's delegation, as constituted by our resolution, went to Port Harcourt and they met the Honorable Adwenkyere Alexander Kwamina sitting there and refusing to give way as directed by this Parliament. Indeed, whilst our nominated delegation were there and it was time to swear in members, the ECOWAS Parliament refused to swear in Ghana's delegation. I had to intervene and threaten the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament that if my delegation returned to Ghana without being sworn in, she will receive a resolution of the Parliament of Ghana directing Ghana to withdraw from ECOWAS itself. The Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament then caved in and swore in four members of our delegation. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Adwenkyere Alexander Kwamina was at that session of the ECOWAS Parliament, attended that session of the ECOWAS Parliament in clear defiance of a resolution of this Parliament. In clear defiance of a resolution of this Parliament. That is why, Mr. Speaker, I have cited the provisions of Order 31-0, which says that any act or omission which affronts the dignity or authority of Parliament.
We also Mama ya majority leader or also kwedo odi abo minority leader Elizabeth Markin ti omi no de this week EDM say wo edi abo ani pa mama kan say onyame adom a ochena omanpanis excellency John Dramani Mahama obeba Kumasi Asante Mountain mu one the Minister of Food and Agriculture so for ekwadwuma ne de anesamso niafo Eric Opoku na dwumedi ato ni say enkokon ketenkete say de eta eka no omo ba be pa ho ntoma say Ganafo enhyase no bia ensua se obeye enkokɔ ewo ne fie na obi asase kakra etimi ama ye kwado se eno so yade a se yire ho ne ye a enti ebetimi abo man enti the official launch of the enkokɔ ketenkete initiative yami admo ochena Jubilee Park ena ebaso ya omampani anopa no ndo pepe na obeduru ho enkokɔ do sen ene be chama Ganafo hwan ne benya bie sika se ne wo mu omodi asa wonso otie na wasanteme a ochina Jubilee Park beko nwakotie de abemu mpenifo nso ewo eka efa ebedi ho nkomo enso ene na yehu se de promise bread so esutie abayafo ene omudi dwuma ene enwumre nyina enso atase onunyafo nana edusipoku onabo nana edusipoku ye former MC this year was na for South Oha Saranso ena Hussein Ibrahim ono se spokesperson for the Ashanti Regional Minister, or also Ewaha. So on the ticket of the NDC, you see Ibrahim Oha, and I feel Honorable Edisipokunso for the NPP. Now, Adwenkyere no Fabra 0551 599 933 0551 599 933. So na ini ho enso enkomo. Na ansana meko program no eso no. So said bia ya na mayituntum ebinom nim ebinom so ennim. Se minua penny nimpon edafom ra bright brefo appear ya nyame adomo a weekend ebe na wotwe 22nd and 23rd November. And ye pen of crabre na ejina so na ye hon so abrimpo ye. Inti dodo ade bia mu se ya na mahye tuntum ni nyina no. Me nom da de ebuom ne nso egu sorry yes moment ura bribe for apia CEO no da Confanoche High School ano e wo faade no sa trade e wo Dujemfi Senior High School e wo Jamase na me ato sa frɛ no a to the 2nd November me nde be na wotwe ene be pen krabe de da no e wo Asenua School Park ho ne akɔpen krabre e wo banko ye da no asa be transfer Senior School Park ho aye yade chikosia da na yakona asia so bantama previous so dem Pia Memorial na ne kwesi da ne sa akɔtrase wa Asenua Park no so na ye de akata na chikura nti adofo nyina Mr. se duru hɔ a na unyomu kwanya na nso aba bijai you know right honorable amishase efro so helicopter crash asemu sie Ghana na yentibi da because say isusu isapa 86 mu ho na repremienu bi binya kwanhia ba akokɔtɔ Wesco ifiri ho no say helicopter atia hwe Ghana ha pa na yesu bi ahwe ne nkwa de etimiti say repremi kɔ o nkeje etu ma ye emergency London. But they see August and Abus Magana who drew yen, Yadishi Nipa Makoma Kongotri and a free one qua. Report he by ye, what a moon sem. Omucha said the decay, a duplinade, ne hon to watchma. Name weather, a real na enye. The toss me announced and say, a hands safety equipment to be a Nanka wash and can sink a real munyeno, with my home be no, not a bino. The tosso na answer say, a brother was here to print no cocuku see no. Utimi kwa stress o time na so ne mama extension kakra se manufacturer no say e betra de a onfa ma o no say we within range utimi ma o within that period e na sanse mean so asie honorable the SCA any going forward yen come aye different presidential jet no ya de ade nyina no de na o kafa ho na de enso ne esu afrim
ma me san chia o ne atifo ne ahefo mo hwe ne mbe na nkoso ma o yakọ
microphone.
Enchia mu nyina na ema o yakọ.
That's it.
Na nyame adoma meme nde be na wotwe. Enyina be ba na abeja kama. Se uzi obekọ. Bekọ ni abeja kama. Na wakata abra penye echi. Na over nyumre nkomo ayede. Minim se helicopter nsem ya na e ka ho asem. Ene hon sensem de kofa baaye ne hon sensem akiri beroba mamishima mienu na de bi ekoso na menka ho asem odaroma ponse enra se na last week Friday no na ye hu press statement bi from the various labor unions kasa about aban adwuma yefo o makatua ho ntumu a beba afia ibesimu ofanya mianim nukureni asem na arehu yi pa se ene aban se sika wo de beto aban adwuma yefo mu o mu sika o mu de be mo over ujiche mu a enuru even 10%. That is 9.something%. No vanade ye no an se na me o hwe eniema ekosoro ofa ye nyina ye tikrum ye nima ho kire wo ha no fa aban wo to nkofo mu ye adwuma wo makatua mu a 9% of adema wo mu never say na ekoso de na over na akufo ado no ye nyankopon pa o because o hwe na akufo ado of even in the heat of COVID 2020 or 15%, 2021 4%, actually was at 15% back 2022 15% cooler, 2023 30%, over 2024 23% from January to June to was at the be back no for now year by 10%. Na there yan say of out here aban adwuma yefo no mu ka say defend bi so mu say dey no ka kire say inflation wo form. Inflation yet single digit. Enunti na ye akatua na ban no antum. No vasa na ye ka na dia. 2020 na akufo ado to adwumayefo akatua 15% no. ɔha mu nkyekye mu dunum no saa de ɔfa na inflation yɛ 9.9%. But ɔto mu dunum ɔfa saa tam a ɔtum ɛyɛ yi no na inflation da bia ɔtum na inflation baby na inflation wɔ fam. But ɔto mu ma ande kɔ soro yɛ wɔ ha sɛ si yi ɔfa yɛ o inflation wɔ fam ɛnɛ nneɛma bɔ so tete ɔfa kɔfa dum na kɔhwɛ yenia na da bia hyentafo mu so mutuo ne yamam enti ye besra ban
me da se
se saa de na ye koso no ye sere won fa ne nansi fam ne mu oya ofa mu oya wo
okay
ukukuru sika kota ayi Jubilee House na nkofo ofa over 2 billion no mu spend ne abaha na nkofo ho kire mu eye saa de mwa
me da se
ofa ye nko topic no so
mama mi tie Hussein me mo nche o so because so wa kan ye de ya so be ka so
then na so for de
mama tie no
wi na ofa se de bia obepa chew
obeba ye to ye be pa Hussein akwaba na ho ye de
adom bibia bako so
ya mi ado waso ye to say
oh maso ye so de bibia ko so kama edika mechi asante man nyina mechi atifo e na hwefo magibre a mo hwe Kessben na machia eye honorable nso so we dey eti roti kokko so asase so na nya nkwada me den check ese di free eye regional minister so eye e de ma asante man nyina na wo hwe eniema e koso na uti MPP for the way almost say kasana me an kasana na me hu ni say enye bibia popopim na yeden etiesi omo so na omo de yes an e manite o say yeden ye de che omo ne jai omo over me de bia me ka asem ba ko pe me say Ghana ni a o tie me enim the way enye maseko over 2017 no ka salary increment bi ho asem of so bobo me a edikan no otwantro bi e wo hanim say entro no otwa ye ne say o si 2020 na inflation da 9% and a 9% no kra no you go for the den etu mu de ko 15% o 2 a public sector salary no o 15%. Meaning maybe we na fact ni free 2020 inflation nenya single digit inflation, it was double digit inflation, and I'm saying it was 10%, it was 10.4%, so not 9%.
Oh, and
of pacho and I'm project to inflation for 2020 of a project am on anka was a
and I two musay no and a percentage ya two musay
meba o say mutu musay 15%
and inflation yes say
meba you see what kasem and a one can year and
I'm correct
we are not single digit. This is not single digit. 10.4 is not single digit. And number one a rudura some contumpo semofa here are almost akwakasa almost mu no tumu ko 30% 2023 into mabo mu humodi nche obia offer 2023 I'm sure salary the way almost say labor union for trans year and next year trans CCA na say propose increment bia base year and next year na dey starting offer 2023 mo kasa mu tumu 30% no that means mo trans e hoduma 2022 offer me boa 2022 na inflation da same. Sa time na nya inflation na o wuri self no ponko mo time offer sa time na haircut mai utumu 30% ba na haircut aba offer me boa offer utumu 30% na debt to GDP na over 100% offer utumu ekosa na me no kase e ma me ne papa no mo gina ho mo pikete offer utumu 30% no ne nyina wa na e-levy usa de bebu ya ma me mo so offer utumu ema no course and offer yenim niam bone am dey modi oman ba offer na me no kase offer e-levy na wa offer sa MPP for ahon kire mo de Ghana ekomu a Ghana ye broka emene ye ho tese de aban bia me hu bibi sa akra o Ghana adem sei da na wuwie na wunya no na se opese obekasa instead of say also pa Ghana for achew wo say ba equalization say mumu time no you did better because mu ye say me hu asusu no eniema na ekoso mo time ni nyina no na very bad offer hwe me no kasa sisi ya tumu say yetumu 9% krana sisi ya me no kasa inflation that say of inflation we project say about 6 point something percent. Inflation about single digit ama me maame no na wotra ha ka se nema boa eden enti okodwom a osu no wote ha nim se se patura na woto se obeka nyankopon nim no kura ni a patro no so ate ofa ofa mba me de manu si no ote am me memre ofa me memre onka only one economic indicator ofa only one economic indicator ofa me de manu si onka only one economic indicator MPP time better than NDC only one ofa last year by this time na dollar at the 16 cedis and the dollar at 10.9 and you don't do this.
It's all part of what we are discussing.
Just within 1 minute.
Within 1 minute, Wadaroma. I have funny Ghana for T40. Bejitum, let's assume without admitting, Bejitum say na inflation 2020 was 10%. Nane Kufado, Emma Etwa Bayajuma for 15%. That's a borrow the inflation rate. Tisha assembly tie na menu aka se ye bomo ba ye sa tem taxes and wo ho na mene eye adwumayefo ne ade over NDC ba ye first budget 8% levy petroleum product 30 to 40% increase in all government fees and charges approved 2025 fees and charges amendment bill 21.9% VAT on non-life insurance premiums. Oh, me patcho. Source. Me
Offer radio kita.
Hussein, me kasa no. O kasa no man kasa.
Ghana today your source.
Offer
Ghana today your source. Ye pe Kessben. Ye Kessben source. My job online source. Now Ghana today they say more you.
Water tariffs and tumaba. Electricity tariffs and tumaba. Now he sa niema we nyina na minu abetena. Offer na fi omo do mo secondary school one more ba ho kan nye 70-80 million ya wa na ndc mb because obi apia 300 million eniema mu bu akwa ekosoro enti wo hwe sa eniema we nyina na se wo ya ban na se wo to akatua ma sebio wadwuma ye fo wan ha wo mu a na wo so de 9% na etumu a sebio tie 40 na mini amesrew some of these mistakes na ya moye no sebio wo tena ban mu a edru mebe ya oni se bibia ye okay o na hwefo hwe
That's Hussein. We are not
offer. It's going to take us. Offer a tea for no muti name say nema boy there. Akoko from me ka say na me bo nema bibre boa. Do me metna anka say Ghana bibia ye woki. Ba offer ye ka inflation a ye ka empempenso a enema bo e kosoro. Some time and see ye two phone we ye turn 10 cedis a ade beche na ye 20 cedis. Na the 10 cedis na aka ho. By ne your time say tofu we 10 cedis a ade bechin de aba beto so cry 1 cedi ene ye kan say inflation e ye nkakra persistence nkakra ene ko enti Ghana fo nyina anim say mo time in fact me brother any one say me kra me kasa bebre o sa asema okay because na me nim say oba benya no kra sa be kasa asem we nya na Ghana fo tie no mbo say fu because so mo hwe ya ban ya we have performed better than
right
and na me bisa say economic indicator ba mo ba ye mo ye better than this want me anka
economy now last weekend in anti infanto na yemra the current issue ye ka ho asem honorable helicopter what do you have to say
you offer helicopter and and then our report no once and run the report to command national security council and then the they call Jubilee House they call chere Ghana mampenyi say omo nanu ni baako echirichirim eja echichirim kakra ma ye hu no de course edi kan ya hwehosem of ahwe saa oyu na eto Ghana man nyina ya de ayi nyina ye bompa ye say of maybe nsibio because ohwe emrantie enmunyamfo ekukudam wotwe a wo mahwiro mu nkwa sei na ya de anu odin a yesere onyankopon se saa de we de o mane mpara o man Ghana emabinya de nsibio na nim so matable issues no e de amoma mpanyi National Security Council so age ahwem ye bompa ye se nsem o mu hwehwe mu no Ghana no more often no fa se ye te committee no mu hwehwe ade mu a o mu be wie no krata no ofa na de ato shevel so ne mfuturo bodo empire a ye bo ne sre be sre Ghana mampanyi se saa hwehwe mu a ye nuanom ana mpanyimfo o mu onim de e de aben o munye no mu mfa ndi dwumaso na issues bi a o mu kan no mu bi a o mu implement se de be ye beboa ama saa de esi ye ofa e bi nya den NCBO. Minim say ni nyina say akọ nyina sa be nyina asem baako. Say omzi plane no de aye no. Omo mai bre eso mai no ya sa aye de ekoto bio. Eti mesre ye MPP de ye boa emo man ne ye kyekere. Ye nka se de enuanom NDC ye ebra na MPP aban wo so na ye nyina anim se eye aeroplanes ye wo Ghana ha e di dwuma no ato chema na ye nyina ye beka bom asiesie no ye nuanom so pa ye ya ensem mu kanfa na akufo ado ne MPP aban ho bibiri ye de ye nye ne sa de aba no ye nyina no so mo gitum se ye nyina ye nkoto foforo na ye mfa mo man na ye beka ye nyina ye beka bom aboa because o man ye chichiri ne ye ya ofa eye ma ye nyina
oh yes sure se bo nyina mo beboa because over the weekend na rego MP ebeka said da said ye kujito black kwa opposition no waka say fa ko 900 on ye e no na mampani mahama mfantu kwan no o monte ase da enti one Peter Lanchini tubo anya adwen de abai enti ene bi amadwen besesa na
yeah of our own say he sa na ma we nyina no because of nyatwom ewo ye nuanom NDC for because wa hwe nsem a ye nuanom bi kan ye hwe okujata ablakwa Sam George Sami Jamfi look at Peter Tobuya that weekend omu kana asem omu koyi nsem ono aka fa sa helicopter ya ho asem bo ejekere no chese nsem a ye kan ye no it is how kase wo die nuanom NDC for achi anu kurani wa hwe a ye beka se de asi no ye nso ye beka the same thing but ye yes a minim se oman nchekere no na ekọ akiri timi de mesre menuanom se de asi ne nyina no ya reho se ye mpese ebi besa ye dey asi bio na de omu ye na NDC for no omu ye ya anye ye no Ghana fo nyina hunu nya atwom ne suni ban a omukura ye de ye nanso na ye de ye ndwene oman no ho na ye mmoa na ye nkwaje ye mpa helicopter no bi mmoa se de be ya oyo na eto Ghana because sa oyo na esi ye sika ye de ye ayie ofa sa fund ya yatie enema ye ka ya bono ofa me ye sure say e bi crank ye de to helicopter koda bi wa enka beso aboroso but ye tena ho ma de be sisi wie because of amanyosemunti ye wie a na afia ya asem de ayede e de amaye nti mesere menuanum so muma ye nyina enka bo na ofa sa de we twuma adwen si ade ba akoso ofa ye nuanum mu wie e de na mu wie no mu kwa dai galamse ye nuanum wu July of amadwen se binim Hussein was it July
August
ofa eya metena sia ohwe omane boama ohwe mutala ohwe alaji muniru ohwe mia ofa sapon ofa kamia ye se ye papa no mu omawu kwawo wo omu ye ofa kamia se mfaso bia amaso ama oman no because galamse a na ye papa no mu ekwa akodi hu dwuma ewo obo ase a omuko saa woyo newe atu wo mu no owanne galamse eya worse galamse keeps getting worse by the day every day galamse eya worse say Ghana Water Company say on person mutu nsuo bo mu 280% because alum ne ayi omutode nani adugu nsuo no mu no ayi kwa na ekosoro ofa na obekwa ha ayi Catholic Bishop Conference omusi galamse eya west of an obekwa ha ye wura Chief Justice a enra ye okọ vetting o se galamse eya west and the utag galamse eya west galamte keeps getting worse by the day de bia ye wura mahama ni ye nuanu NDC ego so to nyom kire ye wonne government appointees a each and every day omun samu ba bonten se omutu galamse yewura mama nka hwe edisabio saye papa no mu nwotwe a omafurumi ofanto omabusuafo pa hwe de ekoya no hwe galamse yi kwa ekoya na se omadisi omufurimu no emfa so bia amaso ya besere Ghana mampanyi Ghana ya ditumi na mano Ghana pa of our constitution ni ma ye say oba ha ye mineral resources ye forest ye bibiano has been vested in the president.
All right, we that say
omuntu na mo no momwa he de si ya afonanu
okay
afada bi ambetra meka agozi say dan no of ya wa hai amanfi east amanfi west amai Ahayana of a granting interview was in the DC to Galamsey, acquisition. Of an eternal of MC, acquisition. And Naya Rayami, and then a Abanga Galamsey, some acquisition. Of an Awi Empia, a wimpen for Chamoja Gunso to Galamsey, acquisition. Yen Yanamsi MP before Netu. Yes, Galamsey Kimping, Yura a wound to me. Of as I say, wound to me, see action. Wound me as one to me, Kobu. Why you to say do can cry no cry? Of us want to be on site view. Says will be I'm going before uncle. And then there be a young shoni and your men, and say, I got it well by the day.
But I say, you see, lessons learned, helicopter idea, CA. What can I say?
Over, and I think so. No, you would say, yeah, your brain has a me okay, kakra. Me tea findings, no. I'm more kind in every year, no. Because we should see and they find this your money by year. I think say a bit to me I find a lasting solution to the problem. Say a being sign the okay view or Ghana Hanum say na offer the mamma rehoka cranny say also mujina weather no so check akra. Almost say weather. We and almost I call a machine in 2012. 2012 no, Nanke was a 2015. And I said, okay, do say because servicing.
I don't say cost servicing.
No, never say cost servicing.
Oh, okay.
And almost I call G extension. Yes, I can. And the everyone's extension now moon away you. That means I can call servicing at that time now.
And can be bisa.
Can be bisa anything. It's me sremping for. Sir, the baby ye bit me use no kakra. Me dey come nim say sebi me nuanom trotro drivers for ni bi na bi bua
say ye the trotro ne taxi no
yes
e wura bi
what just ni bi am no dura
me fa ko ba ko mra o me twi this week
me twi this week
ade yes so for so onye
so nanka we nyina e ko so a enka menye sure say enipa sun ye omo sun omo man ko be hwere omo nkwasa nipa otwi ko be hwere omo nkwasa e ya rewosem enti mesra ban no esre empinifo a omudi animu say procrastination yenim say the thief of all the time enti sa moto ho omunjai and omohwe na say animanimu ya bibi ho betima ya mana boama bibia si ya omonye se na be ya next time bibi santim nye den enkosi bio because it's a more of flight for kra na ehun kakra dey abamu so get na koyo
the accident you see muamaza ya mfa obi o
so that and I see an so no minim de mini data bia ba obisa omo yadwuma wo airport no be ka kire say if you say see nipa bebre na me de minim bebi amete nipa be 3 o say omo kọ akra omo kọ a new plan station omo kọ faka ba e kan omusuro enka ne me na mkosi omo airport ene o ka bia da bi onko enti yesere mu me nya ne ma betima aboa ma eno so etima CP na I say me nua su ko chipi so ku de to
break basala be ba no the presidential jet and also hunchi you are so down
from
what the SCA
in fact yes e be buy nche send the cost service we didn't care cost service
we almost say fort from us
time na say ba no di 30 enti
I'm president mama
omo ye ho
aju president mama your papa be ga just do
omo hawa na ye wo ohawa na ndi se woni nyina ye say jets ni bebre wono ma no bo no fom anka betima eden arrente so we are buying you cut your coat according to your material make rather mean size according to your material but MPP are buying no o man cut your coat according to their material so we say time the Ghana for ni yesu na that time na you levy buy you know that time no fa na that time na covid eden e wo ho DDEP ye de beto ma menum so nyina that time ya na private jet dia awresie e wo wiemu ana ha Ghana for and na de sa ha Ghana for zero akofo de beka kire say ye tighten your belt na nima mo aye den na wo bega just ye tighten your belt na hu say wu ni belt hooker of say den ya be hayen it is all share say spending $19,000 per hour and if a private jet ye nim say say long distance journey no and na say private jet ntimi nye den enko but en ye hwe ye wura mahama okọ China nyina wo en fa na wonko but okọ a or the commercial flight of you in any pa o cut you quote according to your material e boa o And no one the eternal can cut down the expenditure. Also for your discretionary and non-discretionary expenditure. Though the non-discretionary expenditure, and then you cannot do away with it. You definitely what? Do it. Ubetuya if it's an interest payment and amortization, but the discretion one is and maybe an essay for you are for so 1 so. And one in this near how it is all this over private jet company for the new from Kakra and an ear can. But they Ramama buy and pay a charm you say some near can no credit because of buy no 2 can be or the air commercial flight in a call. MPP before starting, you say you Muhammad the private jet to go, the Kose, I feel money not common noting because most of Muhammad is saving Ghana is sick. Of us, maybe they make a private jet to so I'm going to say, and yet fitter. I'm on top of fraud because you're a phone when me and near Kafako 900 on a little bit over $50 million. I think $45 million.
That's our time, no. What's time or the buyer, no? There was so much contention in Parliament.
Yes.
And this is force, sorry, said Debbie. Kufo or dance or a check. They buy mills and about to yes. So they say, your mama. One way or Debia.
Yes.
Say a share. But the old banner is soon a year. Why do we have to wait?
Simply for a share. Not say ye new private jetter. Young tough for. So I'm also share say, dear yes, service. Say service we need Ramama. A bit my yeduma. Yeah, using
better be through.
Oh, that be offer me and through. Offer me and through. So almost service. That's a fit for purpose on Kwandia. Yeah, using. But say not fit for purpose. I'm not only one. Simple. It is our politics of we say no day. And my distinguishing until difference no day. It won't be brave. And on say or jumpy so more course or more kone galam say in MPP ni. They be MPP for per galam say classmates. Sana mo pe. Because me too say me person your classmate. Classmate. Me person your classmate. Obetria baba ya baba nya say me your classmate, me your classmate. Offer anything. Yewra Mahama. And then me no ka say. Appointee bia ye better say or ye anything related to illegal activity, illegal mine activities bia no. You refer no to the appropriate court so mo ye demonstration assembly. Ni enhwe. Offer MP. Some de no ko court. Yeah. MP kura no kura just botrimuka na nkofo bo mutrimuka say why say and no kura ne Rama ma say da bi wa ma omo de na ko in fact o man twro na no sem mpo omo de no ko court and na say Rama Hama or political will ne so person dey or fight galamsey me no ka say ma ba mufo ejina court and now tell him say they be abetena wo say chama wuntumi nya boni bia na NDC for yeah how chama wuntumi by ne be amon na motia moka say Yewra Mahama chama wuntumi how kekene ye ha no but then one ka so say betena na wo say ka say galamsey nye stop galamsey ya and also but all time don't forget say who president no tama one kasa Lands and Natural Resources Minister ya bujina pode letter command o ka say chama wuntumi nya galamsey we squeaky clean me once no say tano mirim forest reserve o ye galamsey enti no difference no of a buy 9 forest reserves and a galamsey kimpini or my din in an offer and then me no can say ya dinning in our back or mo come near pam and then 9 months year juma ye 9 months year juma offer and you see Eastern region ho baby yanka say one say akwachi abrante bia kimpin pa onu na ye den sponsor galamsey
sike kura no
yes sike kura na o person bribing 9 months from offer say mo nka wo say mo ka ho asem Ofankeja, ye brabu 9 months for 9 months for nanjin. O say ke boho yi ni e bo mo ba so. Ba janka 9 months, wo de enti 9 months ni akwaji 1 cedi. Kede bia radio so ye so ye na Yewra Mahama 9 months team o mo ti ye o mo jiji sika o mo ji 1 cedi. Me bo 9 months for mu leader no abaso because Yewra Mahama ni abre. E na enure ya wono so aba asa be kasa say galamsey ni de enemy. Enti obi o ye galamsey bia no ntena se hwese nipa ni say yenso ni ensase. Yewra te kokoso na nya nkwada. In fact, de bia me kasa say ani ma salute Yewra te kokoso because you know what you call Juna Santimai, your former goodie, you saw any answer say ho. Of how can I say, and rich here, and then this last week here, President by region had him say, now a branch in you. MPP time you won't even say you, Kimpin in you, because no one say Kimpin in your Jubilee House, according to your professor from Pomboating, was it Galamsey headquarters no Jubilee House. Offer last week here, GGA4, Omuya was be. In fact, me kwatena zero out to kokoso wakasa o ma me hu say yes. Say Asante man. Ghana man. Africa nyankopon di ro to kokoso ahira ye nyina. O say galamsey no. Yewra Mahama mie nani. na omo ye galamsey ni yen fo omo famra kwan so chiefs no so omo wo galamsey area na omo ye galamsey no omo make sure say omo de emra be ye adwuma wo ho entisi ano ye roti kokko so enso so edna no atumbi nti na sa ase so na wo se wo ye galamsey na sa so ne e chew ne de ya na che se o mfa ni die ma ohimpon a wo te hanim sei ba family manu si kra no manu si kra no wo hwe so amere bi so ba yo emo minu ya mu de paper ne pen e tro letter bebre krata e de komero ti kokon so se mesere galamsey asemo ba men kase ye galamsey koso se ni se e be sei ya ban ni di e me yoro ti kokon so ka se mo ka enya mo na mehwe asanteman e ne Ghana man ntimi de nya de mo atwera ma me no e na mekwa akokan na mo mekan de etie e wo fom ho no eni yoro ti kokon so ka me hu se mo amu ye galamsey ni mo na mo tete ho no munie e wo eye Ken we sisu apon mo nti wo no wo pe classmate me nya ma ju say me classmate galamsey kura de me pese me ko school nti me sro wa graduate na pese ye masters a and the Yura Mahamata muti nya masters o pese ye masters o galamsey mo a na bi just MPP ba 2049 mo ko na then you can do masters in galamsey no kura ne anti ase ma mo Ghana for be ko anti am
over just 2 minutes
me nua metina se o he kasa o kasa
Ade no obia ya no de go si galamsey so I'm not talking about galamsey
de tie nyina ne se o he enua me nua asema wo kan ya na wo bisa ho se last year no ka se na enua no mo ka se private jet no se ye to bi na ye di ha ye nyina en kabu NDC you see and there be am ka sa amanyofo ye suni ye ban ye da na di no eno no wan hwe bedroom re bi da ache over asam kese pa besi ba manyoni ka kro bi antie
ende no kre
ede ansam na ye nuanu man disi ankan fa jet
no kre na nsem se opani ba akokora aka se be ye adwuma no ye nyimfiri amanyofo no
se
mo nka no kre
se nsam a mo katia private jet na o ka za na ye wura mama ba e no no de onyusu private jet Bajo, ya mame vice president, me pacho. Ya mame vice president. No who do na no free am no neighbor no. Over there jet no de buy. Enya private jet. Enya private jet ni be si ya mame. Over here ra mama, estate no ye adwuma no oba ya no nam amana hodo so a no okọ srasra mampanyufo wa Africa no. Enya ni nua private jet na no de nam. Nti opeso ka kire se ni nua private jet no de mani free ya kwa won to hwinwu. Eno na no de go. Oh, some of these things, no, yeah, kasa, yamma, ebia no, and some I can know, ebia nyai, Ghana for, mon fan chances, baby, a drain and come near moi. Na Ghana for starting yaman you phony. And now I can galamsiasm. Yen young man, DC, Minia was saying, yet to me, the moral authority to talk about galamsey. Moral authority, the temerity to talk about galamsey. What ya Santa Regina? You see, over the alcohol problem when you are bay. Our say me galamsey o. E dia yi na yen bianum ba inaugurating or boase.
Responsible community.
Over what is the difference between responsible community mining and community mining and what other? What is the difference? And then we live in a country Ghana man penny sorry biano or can someone or say the life wire of this economy you go board. And the finance minister sorry was it the live wire of this economy you gold board and then yenya sika $7 billion from gold board intino Ghana yansa se nyina ebe se kra ensai Ghana man panyi timi ka kire se first no se no mu tukura na enya hwe ene de enya bibi ukobi sa se gold board yo munya gold no free here yesi artisanal mining no fa yem kra Ghana ha emre bi atwam no gold na galamsey fotu no hwam na eto gold board inti so mining say and say and some yenuanum ka ba galamsey omu baye e de na asesa ofa de na asesa from omampanyi John Mahama a o ka say wo ba galamsey fo nkran yi nyina no obayi omu nyina free prison na campaigns no wachi omu over campaigns no amwa chese yesi chama untumi ya campaign yamfa na nto jai over yesi nsuo no koso sa na say NDC campaigns no for how many achi no
right me that say
these are the things yesi the AI be fight galamsey of our AI na way ye be repeal at LI 2462 of our yesi amende e kire yesi de kwa repeal this is what is happening ye wan say of our Ashanti region ha last week na me fra hafo ba of akohwa de mra kohwa de mra nsuo no de aye enti sebio ye wa ha minia Hussein ete RCC enti wo mu ntimi ntuka enko ade mra nkohwe ehunu mo ntu galamsey wo
right that's it Brent Hussein quickly now for yanko yenim
Ofa the me kan ni say Ghana ni bia nim say John Dramani mama fight galamsey and the evidence so Kessben adibechi bia no development bia be koso bia no ma yehu se baby eto chema mo criticize a yejitu mu Ofa ba ye kai andamu mo college journalist na wo so odwane free Ghana hanem say kosha monone because no ka galamsey wasem eno ne niam and this year you Mahama say wa wunima wo mining community wo de wonsa be ka 9 months ni ana security agency security ni bi because oba be na dwuma wo honom e dey fight galamsey no sa community ne be twuma so by MPP time ni hu sa ne ma no enti commitment ne dey e wo ho ye adwuma no galamsey ne be fight ye guso a ye fight me say e process ye guso a ye but more time no na Ghana fo hu sa ne ma no. And I can assure you, say, you're John Dramani Mahama, or be free office, no. Na galamsey fighting,
right?
Say 100%, need to you be 70% and 80%. Say, be a Ghana phone, you know, say, ampa, or be an adjust of a fighting galamsey. Maybe the other be American will be or two galamsey, or enemy, ma'am, or enemy, on pay me when you move me, or say me in Suez water is life, or say me from our wound, because. Na mo time kura na mo sentiment mo hanim say tama na mo bu nuagu na hu ana report e ba ya ka me hu say KM boss yura sampan ko he for state ma chance so o say yura sampan so ko jima ho gani enne so jima ho gani so odua na samenjan e hye kwa yibreto mo bu nuagu a sentiment mo bone mo di asanteman o say betra ha o kura de bo so ba ban na ba so because or fighting galamsey o post ya so say wa hu say ene ma e kon so ho do e den ya obenya nkofobia mo ye. But nkakra you my den every honum with alternative livelihood in near ye de red companies and my de buy be boa ama sa illegal mining activities no so why dey etwa ento fa ye ho adwuma Ghana ni bia 80
right but I say observe Adwenkyere we dey now here our Kessben television so my message is kakra ba now you move on to other topics that we want to discuss. CBO say cancer na ya sorry. Benji from Fancy Sewa watching live from Fancy Sewa Suyan Road. JDM saying coming is a gift from God because he's doing extremely work that some people don't understand. One thing I'm happy about him is that he hasn't cancelled any policy that the former administration brought, but still running the country smoothly. He will lead Ghana to the promised land, greeting to the MC for Achuma Mabija. Okay. Good evening. We are not safe as Ghanaians, so who are trying to stop the issue of galamsey is always Benedict Fisher. But the mama and appointees clearly. Oh, please, Rofu them say. Okay, also good evening, offer. The Chief Justice nominee can't equate elevation from Court of Appeal to Supreme Court in the position of Chief Justice. His appointment is characterized by myth in lieu of the removal of embattled former Chief Justice. The position of the minority apt. Let the court determine the fate of former Chief Justice before you are presented for vetting. I have my reservation on Justice Bafuboni concerning the Atai's conviction, but I hold a breath for now. Nana Mwako from Ehia. Of a minority always feel Ghanaians are Ghanaians and people of MPP. What's the meaning of that? Anyway. Good evening, offer. I'm Solomon Dagri from Kunso. Let the MPP and its micro minority know that governance is not about big names, big jargons, and big English, but it's about action, and that is what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his government is doing. The reset agenda is on course. Of our maintenance culture is very bad. We as Ghanaians need to improve upon it. We don't have to wait for something to happen before we look for solutions. Like Sunyai Kumasi Road at Amfensi Mokpa, very terrible. a road leading to 2 regions. Abba. I'm pleading through the Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amakwehine, to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to take a look at it. I believe in him and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. May the Almighty God continue to bless them for their good works. Sunya Road Nkwana Kakra Road simple for Momfa Plain. To Accra Road mu. Jomensa Saba Cote d'Ivoire branch of the MPP. I'll say Dr. Baumia all the way, vote number 3. The NDC guy is always using Takashi. He should let the people know the truth. Teacher Eric AK will be in his car. Manso Watreso. Kuyeta Black criticized the Nekufuado for hiring a jet to travel. Now we should repair Ghana's presidential jet for President Mahama to travel, but not to buy different jet for the president, but rather the money should be used to construct our routes. Mr. Host, the MPP party and their communicators are now saying NDC are using their supermajority to bully them. But have they forgotten that not long ago, we have a hung parliament, MPP 137, NDC 137, but they claim they are majority, so they use it to even pass e-levy when it was in court. Now the tables have turned, so stop wasting your ears. More to come. Kobi from Asin Press. So Richard Frimpong, watching you live from Sankore, Ejekrum, offer Yako, offer is only Nanado increased government salary over 30%. Offer my condolences to you. I thank Mahama Yerga for showing a mark in his level. The former DC, please be factual. Maybe he's living in Dubai. We those living in Ghana, no prices have gone down. Alex Akusumo. Master Planner Junior from Kintampo will say, has Hussein visited his 2024 campaign news or what? He is speaking like he's still in opposition. We should not confuse ourselves with the Z9 helicopter that crashed to that of presidential jet. The Z9 helicopter is a military aircraft, totally different from the presidential jet. We should be planning to get a new helicopter for the military rather and not a presidential jet. The presidential jet is fit for purpose. It can function for more than 30 years, according to the aircraft engineer. Ghanaians are closely watching you. Good day, Yofa. You have now understood the true colors of the NDC. 9% increase in base pay is very bad. Our daily wage is around 100 Ghana cedis. Some public sector workers have left job and are selling cocoa now. Thanks to Nanado planting for food and increase in cocoa prices. This is what public sector workers who are farmers depend on. 2028 is just around the corner. I am Nyamiche from Kwifo Praso. Good evening, Mr. Host. My name is Frank from Achimkede. Please, the aircraft issue have a powerful truth behind it, but everybody is afraid to say it's because if you say you will find someone in the hands of a national security and not even police, so we leave everything for the president and his NDC people, each one for himself, God for us all. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Hi, good evening, Mr. Host. Please tell the NDC what goes around comes around. Over to them. Ahmed from Kintampo. Mensa Majid is from Bichem, Toronto. A 9% salary increase is not bad at all based on the current inflation. I've been hearing MPP communicators talking about the 15% COLA and 15% salary increase by former President Nanado, and it's quite funny. Inflation was 53% and above in 2022, and the increased electricity and water tariff by 27.15% and 21.55% respectively. In fact, workers in Ghana really suffered a lot. A 30% salary increase at that time was like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Kwame Acidity from Ahafo Akyirinsua. New NDC government has increased public sector salary by 9%. It is a good call under visionary leader John Dramani Mahama. Alaji Korindelda are proud of you. Good evening, Ofa. This NDC young guy calls saying he thinks they will be in power forever. Giving 9% to government workers, you are sitting there politicizing everything. How much do you receive as your salary as an aide to the regional minister? Shame on you. Mas Husuano from Sunyai. Good evening, Ofa. I'm Charles, watching from Gabon. Ofa, as the NDC man, has chop money reduced? Has house rent reduced? Has common man eating 3 square meals a day? Let him answer. Kojo Body from Kumawu Bodmasi. I'll be running up quickly. Message no toss me to in kind of Afenyo marking you and MPP MPs. You guys are too funny. You people are now become comedians. If you guys like from now going, don't come to Parliament House again. But the Mama and these MPs will rule this nation nice and better. Good evening, Ofa. Mr. Hussein is saying the president was going to punish the community that attacked the Naimos. So the community that attacked the Naimo previous weeks ago, what happened to them? Thank you. We are Simisa. The way you chat to. Good evening, Ofa. I'm Asrewa from Sevilla Safo. I'm enjoying your show live. Ofa, I don't understand why the NEC man who is sitting in your studio still blaming the previous government. The hypocrisy is too much. My regards to former Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Make a time to 15 minutes after 9. Now, crab up home Sima Edunum. Adwenkyere media and our hair Kessben television. So, your multi-TV decoder and so DSTV channel 364, Gold TV channel 12, and Facebook Live on so Kessben FM, Kessben TV, Obiano, but to me, extremely live. Now, you move on to what happened in Parliament yesterday. Vetting committee and NIM. Now, my note, they say, former Chief Justice na sem wo court ayeka de nti na mo prem ho nti ko ba e pinche ba vetting committee nti no omo sorry ekoi but the vetting went on. Who say
Ofa penifo ka se mi se opeso mu se banchenya
ija ena ka
MPP party no elections omo internal elections Amia was a party nankasano. Esi was say council. In fact, I say crazy. It is a BB course of Parliament House. And Yemi Wawa. Now, Mr. Mebisel, a year on our friend marking. MPP leadership. Inti Omwana friend actually say Parliament House. Ye way ana. Because NDC the minimum say a leadership needy. Omo frey and penifan don't be catch mono. Mumbra Mwase. Mono munkasa ye mone Ghana fon kasa ye no mati ba MPP ne de minim say eja yesi kura se bi mpedu asa buroni nimu no e na aja modiji ofiri su kese so wo hwe de ekoso MPP mu a asa se bi mpedu asa leadership no Parliament House o mutimi nya obia obetimi aiden akọ animu akọboa MPP party no de bia mekasa asem we MPP wo hwe honorable Patrick Buama MP for Okankwe Central Papa we at the Diama Yenina Yamusampa. Sa new patriotic party no. Patriotic, the word patriotic no. E wunumu. Minim the entire of friend also no say patriotic. Because Obabe defend say I didn't hear Rafenyo marking here, no. Ye. Mo MP crab babonte hwe arewo minimum MPP for mu kasetiano e didi na temo social media just because obe throw bibi to honum kra nya didi atem. Ono si Nyankopon ma ye nyansa ni nimde e betimi da ye adwuma yi ama oman no. Enu ani o MPP4 e na wonko ade wa ye hu Judas say MPP4 ya ade e wo say support you omo say MPP ya ade na nya e wo say support you omo offer ye were 3 arms of government ye were legislature executive and a judiciary ye will be a separation of powers executive wo ye wa ade a judiciary wo ye wa ade a ye legislature wo ye wa ade a wait me be den embe tetew obetima ye wadwuma obi anu ono be cross line aba so no ba benya ntokwa enti yese ye wadwuma ene wo independent judiciary ayo process bibia de awie e de akọ legislature ye tena se ni avert ni pana afa na wokọ fa court na asem na okan ye no abra judge na omotena so no omunni honum bi na wo describing it say it was opaque it was then hey Adentina Supreme Court honum no. Na wo court opie na wo keka sansensem no. Because onim say contempt be den. E be no because that time na omunye nka asem nya de wieye. Na nde wo ba betena honum de bia dede en na say wonku a wo ka kire say won boycott bio. Eno na minim say den wo be boycott. Yen kasa ni en boycott.
O say wa boycott. You walked out.
I walked out any boycott no.
Difference.
You know, who never say we
difference.
Okay, one. You walked out. One for respect cramba. Say boycott nkra de so man. What you say? But we waba. O ba e Ghana vote you. No asori anante apie. O se me ntenam.
Say o se majority da amom kwa amom anka masem. But in parliament no, the minority should have their say. and then the majority will have their way.
And you have your say, you have our way. Because Sibibiana, you have our say, anything but now my own cassette judiciary. We are no, I can't say what cassette your meeting. Someone send the Speaker of Parliament no upper judiciary. I didn't speak a patch because we have Parliament or more member of Mudidi or Majuma. Unquan the way I was on him running in and now Cassa, just say we are singing now, dear. I found a market what did you we are saying? A dear pan what you we are saying. Wouldn't you anyone to we share? Dear or free one son of the market.
Now what you mean?
One of Chairman Sabus. Shahum Rasia Casa Papa way. So Jinaso or Casa to say yes. MPP in Penifone be woman. Bandada and Penifona Sana. And Penifona Sana. In fact, even Nkrumah tintin ni Urakwana ya kwana na yede yate. But feno maki ya tintina MPP before timi nkwana. Because party na kasa na say abuwa bia so abuwa bia be profimity. Ni tina pura wie. Enti leadership mo friend to order. Ghana for bufu over. Yera chairman sa every parliament house no. Na offense or more members of parliament saying. 137 meboa. Good. All free to 137. You're a friend of marking by a casting. Of saying 87. A cabby bitch. A cabby bitch. You're a chairman sabons here. The way I'm was a cassa of parliament or say Yama or appealing. On a gun of phone Cassama gun of phone say, hey, Papa, when you dream about Bio, they all say Cassa de Bia was a buano. And anytime Biano only how to do some, you're how to do some, a best Biano. No multi body consensus. Come on. But on Quando, you say we are some nim now on the amount. Until the Ebeka won't.
All right.
Also, the parliament house and now Cassa haphazardly.
Okay, that's
everybody party na could do. Until the Mr. MPP, yeah, opposition party, or bet me criticize you constructively. So that you'll be on our toe to do the right things.
Right.
Now, your political party, MPP party.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, the biggest opposition party, or move through on a UP plus in a day. And Brado, they ban a crop of former. But our crop okay. Only the mere shows on the bit or bit of the leading opposition party in Ghana. Now, the party not say, meaning the baboon come across me, also free party. And the Mr. Free party. Because and they ready that time. Where do we have them say? Hey, we catch you. We say, Obama cabinet. I just say one penny. Before then,
I say, honorable Flo.
Yeah, of me.
Oh, that be.
If you mean you casa or casa, I met an that's a non okay or canasa ratata. Over net, mini as a ubi cassette judiciary. And this, hey, rade. Na Ghana mampenyi ra mama oye Ghana mpenyi enyo na catch the judiciary omu ye bias na yeso obepegi the judiciary no enye yewura NDC for the can say omu judiciary omu go nyina no omu ba bepamu bibiri every o now what has changed and me I don't support you be cassette judiciary but sometimes I am nwanwa say yenu anu NDC eno omu na nya ahoden e kase obi cassette the judiciary of yemfa no nto Enra, adie because of parliament. You are nominating the acting chief justice. Your papa Bafuboni. Say parliament jini tuma per your constitution no. Ya jini tuma yam fan omra no me chief justice mo no. Na enra minority no ekoi at the committee. Ansa na minority ni bekono no mo de omun sembi atudwa etia eye speaker nine so se ensembi o ho a omuhu ni se se ye ntu ho anamo a emmoa o man no ama ye de to omanim ti no obi anim se agya bia omo ba beka ho asem badenu an kamia ye se speaker ne majority for no yo madwen se kwan bia so ye papa no ese ye ginitum no fa Ghana ye constitution no ewom per article 1446 o mampanyi wo ho kwan ezo nominate na ye ginitum na nsam na minority di tu dwa no ofa ye wensem no mu se nsam na ebia ensuo nyinam anasa nsam no ebia edika na yesie nyina ye twen adwen ekoso one no share the course at the committee e kamia e say ye majority in the minority ni kura no ye mamon kasa e di se ye wura afenyo marking kasa na numpo nsi na majority leader enso de nanu atu enka me hu ye se bi o man koye mpanyimfo yi de enka ba ko kasa na even krofa sa woni ne nya adwen a unya ntobo ase ma nipa no okasa wie a won so wa kire wa adwen ama na hunu se ensem a wo kan ye wie no woni ne ya adwen enye dei enye be no anya sa ne sie omuka se minority omuka minority fo no kasa bo ahye omuyam ena mpinche bae eno mu sori ko conclave e kire minority bae no mu se ensempo bia omude ema speaker no speaker omantu ho na mo bia no speaker bogu ye no enu nti no voting no minority kan ho bia enyeye one omuni tumi bia so omusi majority kwan majority has the right to vet the nominee majority went ahead to vet the nominee omu wia omu ka e de akire Ghana nyina se nominee no so oba the plenary for approval all minority vote and block against him and what kind no fa and some minority ni kan ye no yentie nsam ni mie de edi kan ya de petitions aba eyi maame yesi yeyi maame tokunu obasa ne de mampanyi wotumi ene odiri tumi no aye adwuma ene o set up committee odi asem no ma council of state establish a primary facie case or set up a committee ene committee no e de report abaje enyi maame ni sinchai ene ya nominate ya papa bafuboni no for me bisa me no kasei you were pending cases ewo OCOAS court you were pending cases of our high court of your pending cases ewo supreme court me bisa o of asesi a cases ewo hoi si ekobua cases na se ye maami tuko no edibi mu a of ade ne besi e kire se one asam no kra na ewo court ayen kanwie no of ye di kan di asam bi se judges ni trim because say no the ya nominate ni as chief justice ono na eba bede the judiciary no na vanti one supreme court judge ben ene benya hoden akase even yankaze bia maami tokonu asem o de kora na ye bedi atum ni ayi chief justice sinchen.
Is it not the same as the election petition case na ya so in president ewie afi na try na ekoso
over no the woman ni say tio election petition case asema yeken the matter was being by the judiciary judiciary na edi asem no of a judiciary na edi asem no chief justice dano na nyo omampanyi na of a panel no so bi omampanyi on panel judges at the supreme court ya papa ya ye kana asem oba supreme court panel and panel na one na ye anya sanete no vasa bi o mimete ho mimi ye panyi mimi dama no na memu ba bedi mu asem na mimi na mi be yi judges ebetena asem na se decision na beba no ebe kame no of ade na besi
but say o acting class no no na
and of adentina no and there is a difference obi acting onye substantive
baba sala on e paneling
of yes set a precedent bia to ho e wo man yi mu a of ya hwe ya dachi ebebu oboye nyina
okay
because say asem e wo ECOWAS say ECOWAS court yi adi asem iwie no mo ka say no anamo na omampanyi tu ye no want to ye enti one reverse the decision now of a day basi Ghana.
ECOWAS court decision is not binding on Ghana.
Offer
Simple.
But it is
law, so stop that.
It is a persuasive precedent.
It's persuasive, influential.
Offer
are not binding.
Ghana
the end of the year.
A persuasive precedent.
Yeah, but Ghana the end of the year.
And of in good faith. And we are practicing democracy. It is a precedent bedaho. Of a Ghana had ye ken. Precedent be a best yes set it to us is yado. A bad precedent of a Dutch and Susan Sobeba. Because one say come here say okay, Chief Justice, ye po ye de papa ne baba. On say yes sir. Papa ye no ya jinatum. Often no say if minority ni kura tena waka do mbeke nyina. Mimi tidi ye paasa ye den ya. Enka papa ye begina tum. But afonsa papa yi etwa beda no. Enti papa no per his record no kura no president amwa no.
One-sided
approval.
No.
One-sided approval. Eno no kura amwa papa no. So enka ni ye mu no ni fe mu no. Adenti na pending cases at the Supreme Court. Pending cases na wo no. Yenhwe ema yenkanwie na ye kanwie a sebio ya bo yemfa nza de empa no kura of ya bogu. Ye bogu de na ye papa no. Yem omra. Ni ema vete no. Ni anyini ntum. Enfa nka nyefe. Na de ekoso wo Ghana ha sesi ano. You see? Ye nuanum nim se omu eye MPP and we have the numbers. We can bulldoze our way through. The betima ye biano, ye bet ye beye, ye nsibia over ye quarter about 2016. Of MPP near majority, near leader or Ebisbao. Ye quarter about 2020, of to say 2024, and there be a numbers in so me catch the majority say, and yet there be a number numbers no more. And no chesa bia to her, no china. Because what you are doing today, no, you be better me the year or china. And share the also the aftermath. And then be tier majority leader, no castle or parliament, na me crowd. Or call say young friend minority leader at the privileges committee. Well, reason we follow politics, you follow Republic, I don't know. Of a meaning say, well, what is assembly will be that? Because me who ye and cover assembly bakrana and got the leadership no crano. Muko conclave no mako day, mako solve the day, e free ho. Mesre yemiano. Anamono mutu no. Sebio nyana mo pa enyense na opa for the future. Asama minority e de baye no. Ofa nukure ni nyansa wom ensho wom.
Okay.
Yes enka omo hwe so no omo didi dwuma no omo se de omo pa omo ye. Se de minu e ka sei. Personal attack on Afenyo Makin. Of Afenyo ye dey. Afenyo is the leader of the minority caucus. But for unim, so we leader of a caucus, and yet decision be a baba bonteno, and ya unkwa na we dey take it.
Supported by your caucus.
It's supported by your caucus.
Okay.
Sometimes, Krano, the leadership of your party may even whip you in line. ABC. Enti ma on cancer mun nyansa se enipa ba mu yebi. Na den na se bi akoso de na de wo so pa. MPP.
But I say, yeah, brother, Yemfa Enuncia. Now, what's gonna be is gonna be in Parliament. One boss, I know. And no one some no Yemfa into na ye the Enkokon kitchen project. Yeah, a buying share homebo. Hey, if you so yeah, I'm honorable Eric Puku. Sabre na NDC opposition metia not ya. And we church mu kwanye faswa e ba ebetimi aye dwochena. Ya me pa won to ba bia so sekrum Jubilee Park e na eba so. Hussein I'm sure saying so. If you know much say ade ni ade pa. But I hear ya na ekwa akoye kuku football bo. Na ekoye party aparachiki ene ekochamom. Secondly, how much is involved? Sika saying ene de ebe urasa ade mo. We a project to be ajitum se bebu ankuku fu so no $7 ene de kraba. Se Ghana for na here bitima ye ankuku no bi dia why not fresh one? Chi no ana aye no adwuma. Na koso de ebe enkoye koko football ball ibedu bebe ase party manko and be nyam chefa abia the project ba ye kase Ghana nyina ade a bebe wi ase no na Ghana for do na so ma hunu bi o kan say
ofa me da sini akonya so dem mo edikan the kasembi asantima mu hanu say yes obi opa de akokotoko no yindi na bro. Yes, obi opa de akokotoko no yendi na bro me fa mo kasa fidi so na in fact ya da Yewura John Dramani Mahama ase na ya da da Greek minister Yewura Eric Opoku asiye. In fact a Greek minister yenya na Ghana ye hu se ampa Ghana ye how a ye komu ye food insecurity obetimi aboa asolve de amaye na yetimi anya all round ye aduane a yebetimi ado na aboa Ghana fo nyina ofa wo hwe portrait de bia me kasa asem wi Yewura Opoku a kire se o ye leader onim Ghana ye how onim kwan obetima fa so abo oman na oman na ida akoso yie yenhwe poultry mikita bibi wa hanim sei import bills 2021 ohwe poultry nko a Ghana ye de ba ye poultry kwa ye import de ba Ghana hanim sei na ye $410 million. $410 million. In fact, annually biano, you're spending about 300 to 5 between 300 and $500 million. And you're spending the call importing and cocoa force at the Bagana had him say. Now when you now also Emma budget no no. If you found the balance of payment deficit, so import a dozen chain exporter mostly over draw budget in a bianwako deficit. It is a unya buying be our think outside the box. Now why ye near my bit my boy mine now? And what's a bona basu near bought irrelico pukusa basopa offer. Unim say and cook import to the bagana had him say. It's me the fridge move 2 years, 5 years, 2 days, 10 years, 20 years. Oh, I'm on it. And Sunday, as I confirm the Abagana had him say. Then no to Sabesha fridge musa. Ne Tony away. Now when I buy this say, okay, say you buy no, you ready to poku lunch be friend no feed Ghana. In fact, okofa yura a champon time nyansa poni nimdia onya ya so person de boa Ghana na Ghana ankasa no ye don niema ye do aburo enkate money niema na ye feed ye ho. E no okofa buy no lunch ye. O lunch wie ye no. O ma kwafo ni bi seedlings na niema o bi duadua se na be boa me nya surplus. And then me no ka say Kosua abu Ghana hanim say. Kosua abu. Na yeah Kosua abu. Ama and then mate say president Krampo catch ba first stock for no say omunkoto Kosua no omfa ma yenuan mo secondary school. Na me ka say no so no. Na me ka kire omo ye nkoko. Kosua abu ba Kosua price no. E da so gina bi gina na. Yes.
Kosua boarding.
Yes, Kosua boarding.
Kosua boarding.
Me can me say me say wo na go anko be defend.
Kosua boarding.
Ba me me kan kure no. Kosua bo e da so wo soro. Enti Kosua bu nu. Yesrem betimi a monnya niema montete so na nya den. Emwa ye nyina. Ofa, ye wo hanu say Greek minister. Oko was it tomatoes? Asante achem. Ye wura mama direct mo kotoye. Onion, omokotoye. Abu. And then me know cause you're a Greek minister who say, sir, NSS. And then me know cause NSS so so omuya poultry.
Yeah.
Omuya poultry. Ama me know cause nkosua omanya. Enye nkosua ketwa. December yo meto nkoko no bi. Me nua minim so boko akoto bi a. Ni nyina ye to abeboa Ghana. Ba ofa. On se nkoko ye no how ba ko ya na ewo mpa ye. Eye omu feed. Di omedi no. Ene ade ana edi ma ye nyina. Na me kan somewhere June mu ho. Eye yewra erikopoku oba santimante mu hanim sei oba ye no na company be a friend A2 company ano no so eye ono so build bibi se nkopeso de boa na eye feeding no eboa na esipinесita okodu ono in fact ohun capacity wonim say sa A2 company no mo ye na nkasa no storage capacity betimi afa about 30,000 tons of maize and beans entano no be hub e de amaye wa santimante mu ha na aboa ma ye nya nkoko nuane no se na be ya ukoje nkoko nketenkete 50 na uko eye unfichire na uko bobobuo na odigumu a ususu no betimi ayeden aye no onya bi edi na bonya bi kran so ayeden aton na aban ni se hwempo so obenya processing factory bi a ye nkoko no na se nkoko no enyini a na ja ye ankasa aban na ankasa ayeden aton nkoko no oton nkoko no wi a na de nkoko na ko fa mfidie mu ye no mu fa mfidie mu ene asa beton Ghana fo se eton de Ghana fo na se Ghana fo nya bi na ebi car then near the akwa monone which is export no so no se na be ya balance of payment deficit no ebeti ma dey a balance ne kakra anya sa dia every year bia the import sa ne ma no enti me agric ya dey hia me ye
all right
na offer ye wura kopuku
anya koku football ball
enye koku football ball o chine be launch wi a wo be hunu say enye koku football ball ye ni abri ye wura kopuku wo so no abetena sentiment mu ha no ye regional minister onim de ekoso sentiment mu ha in fact a sentiment mu am say farms bebre okofufuo mu a farms bebre na ekoso sentiment mu a into wo say so de ba sentiment mu a ebeboa asanteman emabunu benya adwuma ye mini madam for ba ko no na bie farm e wo fufuom na the farm no e wo mu ye adwuma farm so kwan makoma ko 10
okay
e kan mabu ni ko mutifie but say wutimi ye sa ne ma no na say wo ye large scale and so wo kakra bi a wa ye nkokon nketenketi wa ye kakra wo fie na ja ososo no wutimi nya bi uja kosu afiri mu wutimi cha kokunu in fact your health cramp it matters because they are going to free abonte no mimi nka say enye but ade a chef free move for 10 years e wa mono na bedu
because sofo be local pot farm be away and interesting or locally made oven be a akoko no kunu wie na odwa de guso a itimi twe anwa no e wo mu no nyina ma on say grilling no omu yi srade nyina afrim nti otimi twe anwa na afrim ma anwa no be a otimi nya be a half a bottle a and also otimi ye aduane meyeye e je say nam no aye healthy because ye srade na e afrim se ka de nam no be sa akoto anwa foforo no asade abeye yi no we nyina ye nema bi a e wo se sua Ghana ye kan de fe by implementation planting for food and jobs very laudable policy
it was laudable but the so say planting for food and jobs almost spending say about 3.5 billion about $3 billion $3 billion almost spending planting for food and jobs
$3 billion
cities rather cities 3 billion cities rather and almost spending planting for food and jobs of a we are saying you will have fertilizers are now almost smuggle the free Ghana had the kwama na nenye easy and I mean no cause you ready kopoku buy wouldn't say district be na much fertilizers ama e for more district ono fertilizer no one go but social public financial management at section 53 now under MPP according to auditor general report by 2022 cocoa fertilizer omudi gu fertilizers omudi gu honum e man say anka wo say fertilizer ko say cocoa duase e ko say e wo nubiase no e say e mo ye write off of 24 million cedis Ghana ka ye boy you know 24 million cedis meanwhile so no we share sa public financial management act na e ka kire wo say in fact so be write off bi say krampo na ko ne ko ka kire ko na ko ja approve every parliament o ma nya sa ne ma no e dey ready ko poku ba ye na kuafo no ne ye hu say fertilizers no me anu ofa wakwa ko gibi on the district eja wonu so start odi gunu no ba yeso and e ba ye ne ye ne ma betima abo ma Ghana last scale production
let us say the emotion be ye no
in fact NDC ye ba ye no on say food insecurity and the MPP but no mo so mo ye bi efe one village one dam so person ultimate solve the issue of food insecurity e also ultimate nya all year round no production na CP na BCP so all year round no e den ya ye drought time ensuo beto time ensuo nto e wo ho ti time ensuo nto no you rely on irrigation na what me dey abo mo no ba na den ayi bi so mo so mo ye one village one dam offer one village one dam no ko wi ase no mo si sika dagout dagout no mo ye o mo si sika no kro mo dey ye no e kum si sika no susu entimi nye ba ye na ja ye guso ye nniam nkakran kakra betima aboa ende minister akwache galamseyes wono pump water pump machines ayagije free galamseyes wonyina wakwache de amakuafo no say momfa mboa na irrigation nye dey enkoso it agric minister
let's wait and see
you see the future is what agric agric ene ye dachi
right with us
Ghana mabulu nyina no ye fa ehunjimbi ye were kopoku kire sampa leadership no ye adwuma de aboa ye nyina
with us honorable
over me dash bill me ni akasa bebre
so be ye bi
na asema me ka chere ni say NDC omo ba mu from 2009 to 2016 averagely agri growth was 2.54%. The entire 8 years. Nana Dubai agri growth was 8.4% averagely. In Tiana, sometimes some of these things, no, or Kasa, or Nyantu Wase Kakra. Of our bar about a year, Kokonket kitten once. Many are the free inputs or mono ediama. Kuku na say akuafo omo ba mu ya onyame ado me na me DC me so na force out we be crash and no messages some are watching fertilizers ye di bebre mai me as a DC be distribute bebre of aba ensekan kuku nro shiwura emo ade na yanya. We did so many things. Eti o eduru me bia o hwe ne ma ye de bo akuafo a bebre mo ba ye munye mu 1000. Eti se o kasa aba agric sector na onya ntobo ase. Nkokon ketenkete ba ochina. I support the idea. Megidi say idea se Ghana for any aban no ye ni ya of ababwa nyina. Na de ba ko a ya na ye kan say yes a pessimist is an optimist with experience. Over say you hey there was so many agricultural policies over from 1983 government memorial time in time out be about what they ba. Over ye nyina nim the success rate. Ye beka asem no de ye beka wie no for be wie akire no na asem no na akoye bibia ho. Mimi hu ni say saa nkokon kitenkete approach ye omo de be. Omo eso mo tenase no mu eya ade ni ye. Over Ghana ha we have so many poultry farmers, especially uko Brekum Doma side ha.
Yeah.
You have so many poultry farmers. Ada mitie Yewuri Kopoku ene asem okoka na parliament ni interviews on agrandi kire say oh nkukwan kitenkete no ye de beko every community bia mu na bia oh uhia obi hia 100 no a register of an e de amano of obi hia 200 no a register of an e de amano. These are some of the ad hoc year decisions aban nyina of ye ya emwaye adenti na ye say ye ba be ye e bia 3 million a year nkukọ na ye be re woma of a yen hwe say ye be pe poultry farmers e bia of 20,000 aban no support mo 20,000 e bia every district bia no ye yi farmer poultry farmer e bia poultry farmers 10 aban no be support mo e wo muniem mu be hia nyina se de be ya mu betimi aye poultry farm no na aboa of a district bia ye yi 10 farm poultry farmers or no for the time 276 ebe ma say ubahunu the number of farmers aban no betimi anya across the country. Yes idea we no the various inputs no near the ma wo mu aban ni so masene se de be ye wo ban ha wo mu no mu de adidwuma se so for ye wo hasisi yi o be ma bi obi aba e kina ya bodwa of ye we ye na wo be register bi wo be register ye ma obi of ya ma obi 10 o duru fie obi o ho bia wonuru onko duru fie na ankasa no no mo
oni hu
se onim hu nim de yes obi amaginti ono so ye dey ekogibi ase ye ntoa na mo a ye betimi aye deliberate ya kreti enuma amankofo because ase de eye ene ya fa ebia enipa 5,000 ene ya grum wo mo ye train wo mo ene ye de sa mo we ni the various inputs ni mo hia nyina ma wo mo a of asa de we se obi a saka no de di dwuma at least ono so be fa nipa oba employ nkofo na ebo ma ebia wokọ every district wo bo say oh ye wo poultry farmers we ho a enkukọ dodo bi ehia bia no ye nsa beka ye wo poultry farmers we ho a enkosua dodo bi epe bia no of ye nsa beka but ye die asofa ye nunu ye ho e na ye sere ye besere minim say adwena ba and say the market it's a good idea. I support the idea. O hwe de na menua Hussein Ikan a sika ye de kra nkukọ funu from amonone ebe o man mu of anoden endi sese sika we ye de ye na sese bi o sika na ye de kokra ne so atia of ababua because I no as say ye nya yare ne ade ade nyina no ensa moa the local economy because ye kra e na aba e the pressure so eto ye sika sam so enti ye besere se aban no nsam no mukeka no binia wo say na kan wa ka no brilliantly ye rari kopoku ka chirechire mu ye come be mesero mu se be ya mo nya the wholesale approach because when the wholesale approach of emfaso na de ye e wo utirimu pa na wo bo na wo pese wa achieve no of one hwe a wontimi nya de e achieve but ye penkofo e be every district bia no ye yi nipa 10 ye yi nipa 20 na e be ya training wo mu ya mu nimde koyo mbefa so ahwe nkokọ no na of ya pe se bio ho akade nyina mu no over even kra no aban no de abo mu bosia aye say bia munya ne anya na revolving fund say da be bia wo ye no sika na beba no say bio na aban sika na ode so wasene no so odi bia ye dai odi atua of obasa na revolving fund and ya produce 10 poultry farmers ebia na revolving fund no so ochena eno so say ba aboa ama other farmers so enya bidie adwuma and it's a good idea but aban no hwe kwan ya o mo fa so a o mo ye no say the be am fa so no
say the okay so you're planting for food and jobs subsistence farmers o mo ye kakra no aban no ye say enya wo ye large scale farming o ye aton commercial farmers for them mo to fertilizer boakua for no kakra at the end of the day no mo dua buru no mo pa kokoton no o mo to fertilizer no at the market price to o mo buru no boarding the wo de na wo ye kakra na wanya bie die no e bia wunya bottom mi no rubber be nan bi na wo ton ye wo de ne sa commercial farm they are planting for food job the e bia anso mo so ti na sell na buru boy den we ye be ye be chama ye nyina kakra iti kakra fo ntimi de obia be bonfia oti aban idea na be say on whet the appetite o maga ni bia akonos ye ma me kokko be 20 50 no metima yen 50 no o mutu kosua metimi nya create baako na ma okwado say the portrait we me so ye be ye but omo no omo ye na kese no uti omo so problem with bia feed the ane board ni ade no. Are they going to be part of this? And I said, the Canadian, no, na ebeto so no nti be wi ase no na omo nim adwuma no pa ye no last time ne portrait farm CBCI no omo concern but nyame ade o chena se man penin the agric minister dan e dia ene be hu details ni pa ne hu hawa ade no be sia ye adwuma na the NC working bia no ya kan so mam here message kakre na afi ye mre fa emra ewie okay. Keep it short and clean. Now, good evening, Mr. Host. Mr. Host, you normally allow the NDC guy normally lying to us. He just been like the way his boss normally lied to Bole Bamboy, Gabby from Bamboy. Yeah, so okay. Please, good evening, Mr. Host. You and your panel, please, I want you to tell the Honorable Edu that he should stop telling us what he's saying because as his district, what did he do for them? That Agenda 111 project, did he complete it? He should think about that one first, and OSP is going to prosecute people before the Agenda 111 project. Agenda 111, DC, Agenda 111, DC. They about this to try and catch the what share. The appointment of the new chief just a critical moment for Ghana judiciary. Justice Bafubon nomination has raised questions about the country's commitment to transparency and accountability. Okay, let us move on. He said, the Nkukwan Ketenkete program is a laudable idea which needs to be enhanced and it should not be politicized so that the Operation Feed Yourself policy by General Ike Champo will stand tall again. From Afran Electricals, Parkoso Estate, and all the way a free and so a buyer. Good evening, what is going on in the country? We need military rule now. Isaac, baby, any military rule, pa. What be that? Okay. Good evening, my name is Frank from Achimkede. Please tell the president to go to Kumasi tomorrow by plane, not by road. Adam Mampene so about Okacho so faka. Adam I mean, the best of road, no crowd road. Tomla from Mankranso. It is very obvious that this current minority is increasingly becoming an enemy to Ghana's well-being and development. They have only become masters in needless demonstrations and walkouts. Okay, so this is an issue that we have dealt with already. Okay, message so I was saying, finally, then I walk.
Finally, number one, agri sector, MPP 8 years, maybe we drew 8.5%. Maybe I'm trying to make part of please.
Oh, we are about.
Sorry. Offer me kita you had him say we 2025 budget statement of economic policy. We a page 45 of agri sector 2024. Agri sector table no agri sector 2024 say.
No, but I mean, 2024. Me say average. No, that's not
catch me. Average credits.
No, that be. Me can't make no. Don't try to. Sanema now. Oh yeah, no. I'm catching me say average. Me can't say 2024. Be factual.
Listen, 2017. Next. 2017 na endru. What you say? So don't sit here and pretend.
You have your phone. You have your phone.
Better than us.
You have your phone. Oh, check here.
So,
you will see it.
So far, page 12. Page 12.
And
you know,
the growth in the agri sector.
Yes, the growth
average.
in the agri sector. Listen,
and
the growth in the agri sector.
AI,
who the AI now? About me be budget man.
Budget, you don't have the average. You
be budget man. Okay, AI.
Average.
Oh, please. Okay, so no my idea. Offer. And 8.5%, 2.8%. Average 2.8%. In fact, NDC time, now 3.6%, which is page 12 of 2017 budget statement in economic policy.
Average.
What I say? Go and read and stop that thing. It's not good. See? Offer. Agri sector. Yeah, the United States say Ghana. You better sorry, what I say? Near be as I import it and I export it. So there be a Ghana balance of human deficit. You be yes, can be about my the Yano and the Yana Baya or Julius and the Mano. Ah, you're right, Erikopoku. Tikesia. In fact, the trim about Biwi, a banner Greek sector. Yana can say it moves and pa with him the Oka. Okay, say you're a friend of my king. I'm a inverting. Okay. Or status on bisa course and be or status or you course and na you are from the market say hey Yeriko Puku. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but the parliament in so a ben a banner Greek our ben. It's in him DNA ben our being mubio. And what they are trying say who say okay and cook on kitten no. See my household be 50. Oh Kojibio. Kojibi, Mr. Romino Kojibi. You go mini opekusiapa. Oh, the last time you mini kosia more. So you kosia create better. So what I say. It is a winner who con kitten bia. Unkosia okoto yina no so be dey. Ebete obenya akukọ oye healthy. What I say. Now why the work kunu na wan kaso we. It is any so dey hunu we die. Yembo Ewura Mahama Baso. Ni yembo the agric minister. Ewura Erikopoku na Baso. Who say agric minister? Oko parliamentar, not ranking. No ranking man agric. In fact, MPP for planning for food and jobs. Or chum be bia omunfa. Munyese omunfa. Or free ho be a Greek minister omun vetin no. Any Erikopoku say hey, what they say no what being care fa de o kana kebe boy yin na mpa oba yen so no ni magua mu. All right. Rice production and then akoma so maize production and then akoma so soya beans a friend say tomatoes and garden as nya do ani sane mani na and then akoma so and then menu kase wa onu kwa na me say Ira John Mahama kwa na do onion pa wo Ghana hanim say wo hwe NDC unim say wo pe obi odo mo pa wo Ghana hanim say pan so NDC ni o untimi nkan 3 abro be yina film the health minister Ira come na minta kan do emu a wado wo Ghana no ho offer emu o ye
better so mechanized farming
what yes it is MPP business remu enu omo so nkasa so mo start so mo dos ani me we nyina na feed Ghana no ebe boa
all right
because NDC fund they are starting that
right.
And the Greek minister
that say
the primable bill e wo agri sector o ye nneema ka
that say
oh, you are going to go there. As oh, MP was should have voted out. For that's MP. Or for close more than 20 years.
Yeah.
The yenim equia or heno should have voted out. Sometimes the kasa nyanto bwase. Sebio ne constituency or no. So I no queer baby ba some got 40,000 ka phone. It ya dru maybe a no ya na never I say answer gentility home cry. Over I agri growth rate here for the UK. The highest growth rate, agri growth rate, Yeniano NDC was 7.2% in 2009. If you are averagely 8 years no, it was 2.54%. MPP 2.54%. MPP 2021 we grew 8.4%. Averagely 6.32%. It is sometimes I mean nyanto bwase kakra. Na ye nyina no se bi o se me kan se ekokwa nkete no me I support the idea but of a hwe policies aba bebre na atwa mu no a ase ye no wholesale ye ma populism no ekɔ soro dodo instead say ye betena se ni ahwe nie like say menu Hussein tie over you can imagine say as a young guy na ya man e bia nkokɔ of e bia 10,000 now 20,000 no for ya man nkokɔ nuane ya man nkyerɛkyerɛ ne ya wanya asase no for imagine say in the next 3-4 years no menu Hussein no aduru say that is how it should be. And yes, ya buy ya ma we 50 jiko, ya ma we 20 jiko. Of any baby a hoso no. Na dia na dream pon na ye de ye ne no kure de. Na so na ya achieve di entia ye de adwen papa no bae. Ti mesre ewure kopoku. Mesre minim say o chena dia launching the program. Ye nyina no se bio e ba se de make no. E boa o man no. But omundwen hu mienu bio. Se de be ya yenya nti se de bia en hose no. But the idea adwen sebi obeton kakra ne yatimi empower yenuanum bi yen seda empe yen select mabunu ene omu bia ye be mu omu nimde na every district bia no yatimi aso masene no mutimi produce in large quantities and they are supporting the economy.
Right. Melasi ebusia for ha na bere ma kwan ne de enwumre adwenkyere dwumedie no asie what honorable Nana Edusipoku former DC Usuna for South Mensim na Fe Hussein Ibrahim spokesperson for the Ashanti Regional Minister. Maname ya and we ban Simiano my set Wilson and director here cameras na so edemaye. Be dey Kofi Appiah kramunyame ado chanopa ene ehia ma chidwumedi ne so na honorable Kopoku ni spokesperson ebeba na details na aka ni nyina fa nkokon ketenkete no wodi nyina so aba na etie mu enso yansa ni wi a nondo yako Jubilee House Jubilee Park sorry not Jubilee House Jubilee Park Kumase former Prep Assembly ho nche ho na akutie mampeni so anu asem fa nkokon ketenkete nwere yakra mu nyame aro chena ene mu ebehia ma chimedi ne so bye bye.
No more.